Welcome to Happy Foot, Sad Foot.
I'm Travis Helwig. You guys have to tell me if my mic sounds like shit, because it sounds like shit to Darren.
I'm Darren Miller, and I think Travis's mic sounds like shit.
Guys, before we get started, and look, this you might not hear from me later in the podcast if my mic sounds bad, but I just want to say this, because I think there's going to be a lot of upset people in the chat. We cannot be mad at the team for that game. We can maybe be upset with Carlos Vela for those 2 PKs, but we fucking dominated that game. Everyone says it sounds okay, Darren. It's you, bitch.
Wow.
It's you,
we
bitch.
Did it. We did it.
So I can tell there's going to be a lot of, I'm in my glasses still. I can tell there's going to be a lot of frustration. I can tell that people are going to be a little bit sad that we didn't walk away from with 3 points from a game where we obviously were the better team. Brad Guzan played the best game of his fucking life, and we couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, I'm of two minds about this one. I feel that way, and I also just have a list of things I'm infuriated about that I think both can be true, maybe. I just feel like they played the hits of everything that normally could possibly frustrate us when things frustrate us about this team. It all happened.
Yeah.
Every box got checked off. That thing that sometimes happens that pisses me off, all of those things happened. And in the most predictable ways. I feel like I was conducting the upside down orchestra of just well, this is the terrible thing that's going to happen next. Yep, it happened.
Can I say, let's start off with a happy foot, right? On the show, we give our happy
I've actually
foots
got plenty of happy foots too. Yeah.
Happy foot
Please.
for me is that Jose Cifuentes had an incredible game. He played some wild balls that were very incredible passes. I think he independently gave us 3 great scoring chances. And we always talk shit about Jose Cifuentes. So I would like to start by saying, Jose Cifuentes, fantastic game.
I'm gonna temper that slightly. He still had 2 or 3 balls that were very Sifu shots to another planet. It was like he was aiming for the Rangers trading facility from 10 feet outside the box. So, both of those things are
gravity's
true.
different in Scotland, so he's got to get used to
it. Exactly. He's practicing a little bit still.
It's Atlanta's supposed to be pretty good. They have 2 good forwards. They've played decently. I was worried about their attack. Their attack was fucking non-existent. They did not. I mean, we couldn't have played a game. I mean, our finishing was bad, but we dominated in all aspects of the game, especially in the second half. We're from the beginning of the second half
For sure.
to the end of it, we were in control of the entire game. So I understand that people are upset, because my sad foot, Darren, is that in our last 6 games.
Sad foot?
Well, I'm starting. In our last 6 games, we've had 1 win. I don't know about you, Darren, but that feels like a good old-fashioned skid to me. I know we don't like to talk about this team struggling, and it's been weird with rotations. The Open Cup's in there. We played the 3 rotation games where we got ties and shit like that, but and then plus the Champions League. But we have only won 1 game since May 17th. Doesn't feel good, huh?
That is rough. I mean, yeah, that's been hard to track, because it's every game of these, 6 games, every game has felt like a completely different version of the sport almost. Yeah. It's now we're doing this weird thing. This was the first game that felt like a normal game in so long.
Yeah. Because we were so dominant. And we were dominant with Eric Duenas on there, happy foot. It played the whole game.
He's
incredible.
He's my first happy foot.
Go for it.
Full on Duenas. I mean, did he play the whole game?
I think so. Did he get subbed out?
I think he did. He was great. He was great consistently, and even not just played well, but really confidently.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
I wrote down.
I mean, he put some sauce on a few moves.
I wrote down that he's ready. He's ready. He's gonna
absolutely.
He still needs some time. I think he needs to get a little stronger. I think he needs to go to the gym. But Darren, I want to tell you, I think he's Yoshi.
Really?
I think we got a Yoshi.
Oh man. That would be fantastic. I mean, I've been waiting for it.
I also want to say,
I've really been hoping for it.
I know I'm looking at the comments and I'm just watching them scroll. And
Yeah, there's so many.
and
Thank you
I
guys for joining us.
thank
There's
you all for joining us.
a million comments. This is maybe the most active comments, most
And
active
well,
chat we've had
but I
ever.
want to say
That
every other
says something about
comment
the
is
kid.
like, Carlos Vela is the worst player I've ever seen. He's had a string of bad games. He's old. It was always going to happen. But honestly, when he came on, there was like a good 10 minutes where I'm like, oh, he's going to win us this game. And then he allowed
Yep,
himself to get in
yep,
his fucking head. He should have swallowed his ego, let Denny Bouanga take the second fucking PK, because not only is Denny Bouanga has the most goals in all MLS, but he missed the first one. So give it to the best scorer on the team. Just because you used to be the best scorer on the team, I mean, he's earned
yep.
it. If he wants to take it, he could take it. But he's usually more selfless than that. I feel like he heard people talking shit about him in the Champions League and wanted to win the game for us.
I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit of hindsight there. Like I feel like he's really trying, and he's so good at drawing PKs. For a moment there, when he did draw that PK, I was like, maybe he's found that the way that he can still contribute to this team on an exceptionally high level is by being like a PK specialist. He can draw the PK better than anybody else, and then it's on an automatic score. And then that thought was erased so thoroughly in my mind. Like he could not have noped me harder than he did.
I saw a stat that was he's 4 of 6 for PKs this year, which isn't good. But I also don't know if that includes 2 tonight. I think they would only count as 1, because the first miss wouldn't count as a miss because it was an illegal save. So he has missed 2 and made 4. If you're a PK specialist, you should have a higher than
Yep.
4 out of 6.
Yep.
Whatever. We have a caller if we want to bring
A
on
lot more to
caller.
talk about. Let's bring a caller on. Danny, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
I'm gonna keep it real short.
Go for it.
Okay.
Happy foot. We didn't lose. Sad foot.
That's true. We haven't covered that yet. We
We're
got a
leaving
point.
points on the table. And it's
Yep.
MLS Cup or bust, and we can't be affording to leave points on the table.
Danny, you're right. It sounds like you're in the middle of a crowded restaurant.
I am in the line to get out of the blue lot.
I see.
But I'm not on Wi-Fi because I don't want to do that spotty connection that your listeners love to do.
Yes, our listeners love being on bad Wi-Fi. That's true. Yeah, I think you bring up the most obvious forward-thinking point. We're gonna mute you for a second just because we can hear the background a little bit. But we are out of the Champions League. We punted on US Open Cup. Leagues Cup, who knows what the fuck that's going to be.
We punted on US Open Cup, but Galaxy lost.
Yes, the Galaxy did win, did lose, which is a happy foot. But the thing we need to win now is MLS Cup. It's the best thing we can win this year. The Supporter Shield we're in reach of. We have 4 games in hand, 3 games in hand. This is a game we should have won. We should have won. We obviously should have won this game.
Yep. Yes.
3 points in the table are better than 3 games in the bush.
I've heard that saying before. I think that's a real saying.
A really, cliche at this point. Everyone's always saying that.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, better luck on the weekend.
Yeah. Thanks for calling in, Danny.
HTX is not Hustletown. They're get beat down.
Yeah.
LAFC.
Okay.
Turn the page. Let's do it.
I love that you speak in platitudes I've never heard before. Thanks for calling, Danny.
Thank you for joining us. That was very succinct and exactly right.
Let's check out some comments. I feel like we're neglecting people.
Yes, we've been missing a lot of comments here.
So the ones I'm just going to say, the majority of them are J140 says Vela, part of our history. Just oof.
Oh my God. Don't say that. I was so ready. It was 50-50. Like this could have been a redemption game.
Easily.
So easily for him.
And you know what didn't help was it Taylor Twellman calling the game? Him going like, he's got to be confident going up there.
I feel like he's the king of jinxes.
Yeah.
Because he makes such bold statements all the time. It's like that. The opposite of that has to happen now.
Yeah, he's got real like Stephen A. Smith energy where he's just like loudly saying a take. I will, and then all the other comments are about how good Brad Guzan is, which we can't take away from how many goals we should have had. I don't know what our expected goal stat was, but like Brad Guzan's 38 years old. He's
Nine
Chiellini's
saves.
age.
He had 9
9
saves.
saves. The most saves he's ever had in his career at 38 years old. We had good chances. That Bouanga, like, that should have been a goal when he put his mid up and stopped it like point blank. And you
It was an
can't
incredible save.
do anything about it. A guy just had an out of it's John McCarthy in MLS Cup. He had an out of his mind game.
Yeah.
Gil Domingo says, "Happy foot, Dueñas. Football is fun. Vela, sad foot, Vela, rage against the dying of the light." Our
Oh my
listeners are so
God.
poetic about Vela's
I love
being
it. I love
washed
it.
up.
We can't. I'm ready to be like disappointed in Vela. I'm not ready to be like get him off the team.
Yeah.
There's a lot of get him off the team comments in here, and that's
I would say
farther than I'm willing to go for sure.
I mean, he's earned everything that we've given him. He should remain our
Absolutely.
captain. I am comfortable with saying, "Hey, buddy, would you mind being bought down from a designated player so we could have 2 open slots once we sell Sifu?" That
That's
would
a
be
great way to
nice
contribute at this point, I think.
because you're not giving us what we need. And also, like, if Miami, which we haven't gotten to yet, signs Lionel Messi and 40-year-olds to their team, they're still going to be pretty good, and we're going to need a striker. And now that Chicho Arango, I
Oh
don't
my
even want
God.
to talk
The
about
amount
it.
of things that happened today
Ugh.
that are like just upsetting me so much. It's just like insane. I can't believe that this was exactly the game that they had with today.
Yeah.
When Messi signs with Miami, and then the same day, Chicho goes back to the MLS to play for someone else for the same salary we gave him.
Something's weird about this Chicho situation. Something is weird. And there's 2 conspiracy theories that I want to put out there.
Okay.
One is that I think he could be a problem in a locker room. He left us despite being our best player. We didn't even bother to try to negotiate with him. And I've said this before on the podcast. He never seemed like he fully meshed. He goes to Pachuca, does fine, is there for 6 months, and they sell him for the exact price that we sold him for. They just were like, "We don't care about making money. Get him out of here." The other conspiracy theory I've heard is that you can't directly trade in MLS. There's like weird shenanigans. I don't know exactly why we couldn't have done it, but we couldn't have sent him to RSL. And so for some reason, we had to send him to Pachuca first and then to RSL. Pachuca gets a cut of the sell to RSL. We get a cut as well. And it's just a flat, we're sending him to RSL or whatever, and we both make money. Those are the 2 conspiracy theories I want to put out there about Chicho Arango returning to the league.
Wow.
Because it doesn't add up. Something's weird.
Something is weird. I'll give you that. Man. Okay. We still have a lot more comments to get to.
I love Chicho. If anyone's listened to this podcast, I love Chicho.
Oh, absolutely.
I see
Travis
Heather Fraley in the comments saying, "Stop, this is horrible." I'm just saying,
you need the context here.
We're going to have to root against him now. We can't root for him anymore.
Oh my God.
We need a 9. We need to sign a 9.
Oh boy. What a rough day. Also, like, to put this game in context, like, if at some point we had like squeaked in a goal we didn't even deserve and won this game 1-0, we'd be saying this was an incredible game. They like couldn't stop knocking on the door. They were attacking so hard. I had a note in my Happy Foot column from pretty early on in the game. They came out so strong when I did not expect them to. Like, this was a much better effort than I expected from like at one point I had to be like, "Oh, we, the fans, are way more wounded than the players are from Sunday."
Yeah.
Like, oh, I feel silly now. They're just gonna go out in the next game and fucking bring it, and they did, and that was great. Yeah.
I mean, the whole game, especially the second half, it's clear that they are still as good as we remember them being, and that maybe Leon is just better than us, and we have to be okay with that.
Right.
Or we were outcoached or whatever. But watching that game, it's obvious we're still the best team in Major League Soccer. I also want to say,
Yes.
I want to give a shout out to 2 players that we sometimes give shit to. Bogus had an incredible pass to Denny Bouanga when Denny Bouanga was kicked in the face. That was a really, really great play. I can't believe that wasn't a PK. He got kicked in the face. And then Stipe Buke, who I love talking shit about, had a pretty decent game. And I saw somebody in the comments, except for the Buke puke at the very
Well, you had to do it.
Oh,
I laughed so hard when that happened. I was like, you got to be kidding me. In this game.
Richard Cueva says this in the comments, and that's how I remembered it. He said, Stipe's been impressing me lately. And he has. He's been playing better. And you know what he's not been doing is forcing it. He's been looking for passes. He's been giving himself patience.
He's making really good decisions.
And it's only a puke because of the past. If he had one miss today, it would have been no big deal if it wasn't for all the other games.
Hey, Bouanga had a couple pukes, you could say.
Take that back. Take that back, you piece of shit.
Oh my God, he finally got by. Hit the post.
Give us your happy foots and sad foots in the comments as well. I've got some more sad foots that I want to talk about before we get to Messi.
We're getting to Messi. This might go a little long, guys, because there's a lot to talk about. We're in it. Let's fucking go. Let's do this.
I wrote this at the beginning of the game before we had even played. I'm worried about our depth again. I had started the season saying I was worried about our depth.
Well, Aaron Long's head is split open, so it is a little different than the original situation where we said this.
And Palencia probably doesn't have a leg anymore. So our back line immediately looks like Danilo Maldonado is going to start all of our games. Chiellini looked a step tired in the Champions League. We took him out at halftime. Our back line, Ryan Hollingshead looks fucking tired. When they almost scored at the end, did you see Ryan Hollingshead just missed his fucking mark? And it was the one chance they had to score near the end of the game. Hollingshead has had a couple of...
But hold on. Wait, let's not go too far because, look, we were attacking, as far as possession goes, it was 50-50. But the ball seemed to be on their side of the pitch pretty much the whole game. We were constantly shooting. I have the stats here. We're looking at 0 shots on goal for them, I think. Maybe 1.
Yeah, you're right.
No, 0.
I'm just talking about
4 shots, 0 on goal. We had 22 shots, 8 on goal. So...
But if Danilo Maldonado gets hurt, what do we do on the back line? Chiellini is still a little tired, as we could tell.
Also, if they are faltering like that, they didn't have that many situations where they were that necessary. Like the midfield did really well tonight. Is what's happening.
Yeah, with Dueñas, with an 18-year-old academy player, we did great. Tillman wasn't even in the lineup. Anush says when we start on the south end, we do worse. I have noticed that goalies get in their heads when they're near the 32-52. LAFC Let's Go says, I wish Eliot Sanchez would shoot on goal. There have been times where he's in a great position to shoot, but then passes. Yeah, I don't mind having a distributor on our team, but yes, I understand. He is often very open.
Heather Fraley says Long is way too hot to have that ugly scar that he's going to have. Poor guy. We should start a GoFundMe for his scar removal. How hot the players are is definitely a topic for this show. We are on board for any of this talk.
He's not my type. Denny Bouanga is my type for sure. Of course. Aaron Long is a little too, I could see him storming the Capitol. Like he just doesn't have, there's a little bit of an aggro nature to him.
Have we seen him with Alexi Lalas at any point?
Is he the guy that had the 420 original scarf when he stormed the Capitol? Heather Fraley says he's too hot. I don't know. Maybe he is. He's probably in the top 5 of hot on the team. I think Carlos is
still definitely hottest team in the MLS for sure.
You know who's kind of hot is John McCarthy. I find like like a little trash douchebag. Yeah, I'm into that.
He gets away with. I think he's got like enough edge to escape the frat boy look.
Yeah.
It definitely helps his look that he's from Philly.
Yeah. The only one I'd leave my wife for is Denny Bouanga, but I'm just saying that I think those are my top 3 men on the team. Alex Peter says if Maldonado gets hurt, we play Slender Man from LAFC 2. Do you know that really tall man?
Yes. Bring him on. I love it.
Marcos in the comments says Vela had our entire section looking up his contract expiration. This is okay. This is too far. This is too far. You people are maniacs.
Have we created this? Is this a monster we created?
We have said that we want people to talk shit about the team because everyone's too positive all the time.
Then I'm on board with it. I think keep being real, guys.
Yeah,
I love it.
We can't say it when we're on the LAFC live stream.
Is there a photo? Is there a photo of Dollemeyer and Dueñas next to each other?
There should be. Is there a photo of Dollemeyer and Victor Wembanyama next to each other?
I mean, when he comes to America, everyone's just going to need to line up for those photos.
Yeah. Dilly Sarcorp. I got to say Dilly Sarcorp. You got to tell us how to say your name.
Sarkop.
Dilly Sarkop. I always struggle with it. Type it
You're
out.
here enough. You're a regular now, whether you like it or not. We got to know how to pronounce your name. I feel terrible every time.
But he says Murillo just an out-and-out punk, and I love that. And I will say, in the first
Agreed,
half,
100%.
whatever the Greek Yakimakis, I believe, is how I learned how to say it. Yorgos Yakimakis, I believe, was just pummeling our players. They played us so physically in the first half, in a way that they were trying to copy how physical Leon played. And no one, I mean, he was just bigger than our whole team. And then Murillo went and fucking hit him in the head with his head, and it calmed him down. I was so happy we had at least one bruiser on the team.
Yeah, man. People, if also we have the link pinned if you want to join us on the show, and if there's a comment that is still relevant from earlier that we missed, because there's a lot, feel free to just post it again, and we'll hit it. Man,
I do like.
I got a few random shout outs that I want to.
Oh yeah.
Put on. We're not, and maybe I'll save that for the end when we're.
I just want to say, I don't think we've seen the team play this hard and this well in a while. And that was very refreshing, despite the fact that I know it sucks that we didn't win a game we should have won.
There's so much to complain about because it's so frustrating to be so close and to feel like we earned it, and for them to be that good. Like, it was incredibly refreshing to see the team be themselves after what happened. That's the status of it. I'm just going to say after what happened.
Yeah,
that's all I'll speak of it.
And I will say we want Brad Guzan to fall in a well. We don't want him to die. We just want him to be stuck in that well.
He's just a few players now. I'm not sure. We should discuss further off the show separately whether we want this to be the same well that they're all in, or they each get their own.
They can hang out
wells
together. I just don't want them to play against us.
Okay. Well, at a certain point, then Twitter goes off and you need a rescue mission.
We give them food. Of them in a well. No. We give them. No one knows they're there. Only we know that they're there.
Oh yeah.
We give them
just
food.
Fully kidnapped
we
them.
give them water. We give them a piss bucket, and they live in that well. And they don't have to play against us anymore. They're nothing bad. They're not in danger. They're just in a well.
We'll treat them well. Even.
Yeah. It's a nice well. We'll make it a big well.
Oh yeah, luxury well.
Oh, okay. So we have Rancho brings up something we didn't talk about, which is Wefs be whack. I think we can say it 3 games in a row. Wefs be whack. The amount of the first half, there should have been so many cards. That handball should have been a fucking handball in the box. I don't give a shit what Taylor Twellman says about it hitting the body first.
Yeah, is that a rule? Is that like can't you hit the body first and still be a handball?
Well, if it can, remember when it hit Acosta's head first and then hit his arm and it was a fucking penalty? It's insane how confident the people on TV are when the rule changes every fucking game.
We've got AO's joining us on the show. Do you want to hold that thought, or do you want to
Kelly, I just want to get to a happy foot that I see. Kelly Williams says happy foot, Buke and Duenas making things happen. Sad foot, 22 shots to 4 shots, and we got nothing to show for it. Yeah, I mean, McCarthy had a day off. It was it was a rough 22 shots is wild.
McCarthy got some rest.
Yeah.
Oof,
yeah,
okay.
Jakupovic had a great game today.
Wrong 38-year-old. All right.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, can you hear me?
We can.
Yes.
Oh wow, this is amazing. There's a lot of hoops to jump through just to get on, but that's not an insult.
No, we've been trying. There aren't very many programs that do what we want to do, and it seems like Bright isn't a good website, but we're making do.
They're in beta.
Long time.
Yeah, not a lot of things let you join via video.
Yeah.
Ayo, we've never seen your face before.
Yeah, no, I popped in behind Joey once, and I was drunk, and it was not. It was a terrible.
Oh, that was you.
First impression. Yeah, it was a terrible first impression. But okay, I have just a couple quick notes. My first one was that the fact that lately we've been playing the game starting where the first half LAFC is coming towards the 32-52 versus against.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but that's a weird observation. I wrote a note about that, and it's been bugging me for the past 4 games. Almost.
Yeah, it's better when we go second half. Maybe McCarthy is asking for it.
Yeah, I don't know who's making those decisions. If it's the other team, so that
we could have just lost coin tosses on it or something, and the other team's choosing that.
The other thing that was really hard to watch today was, and I noticed this against Leon, I've noticed against a couple teams where we never cut across the grain on any sort of counterattack. And maybe that's just the way we play, but every other team somehow cuts across when like there's a counter, and it's like so hard to watch it. And then we just sort of like just keep going to corners and like trying to build up that way. And yeah, it just drives me nuts because we're expecting so much from whoever's the winger there, and it just like I die. I just it's
That's a great point.
because everybody just sits and watch Bouanga or whoever's in the corner. Okay.
I will say we've started relying on Bouanga to score every time he touches the ball, and I don't think that's a good strategy for the team.
No, and that was a little note I put. I was like, everybody just watches Bouanga. Like nobody across the box. Like whether it was Bogusz, whether it was a Poku, and actually once the subs came in, it felt a little better, but it wasn't like. I mean, you can't expect that from Vela, right? So anyway.
Yeah, I wish either of us were smarter at soccer tactics to give an analysis of why that is, but I don't know. I just agree with you.
No, I think that they do it consistently enough that you have to believe it's just kind of a philosophical thing. Like it must be a conscious choice that like someone has an opinion that crosses work less often than you think, and so let's not do them.
Yeah.
You know?
My happy foot was an obvious one. Like we didn't lose, great, that's fine. But the sad foot was just those Vela PKs. Like it just hurts. Like I'm such a Vela stan. I'm like, yeah, he'll bounce back. He's great, and nothing. So it was painful.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone that doesn't think he might call it quits after this season, but I don't know. He gave a pretty good beginning of the season where these last 2 or 3 games have made us start
We
to
still got
question
plenty
it.
of season left too. Anything can happen with him.
Yeah. And usually when players are older, they get better as time goes on.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, if your bracket's on.
Yeah, right. Well, thanks for calling, Ayo. Nice to finally see your face.
Yeah. Hanging out with you guys. I was listening the whole time. I was driving for most of the time, so I was like, I gotta pull up, just like make my.
Thank you for pulling over.
I didn't even and this is a weird. I didn't even listen to the last post game podcast. I was so upset.
Yeah.
So today was more of like, okay, I can deal with it. I went to the game, I watched, I handled things, and we didn't lose at least. So
yeah,
we'll be all right.
The last one was a tough one. It's fine. You didn't listen.
Yeah.
Just hiding it. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Good to have you back.
Talk to you soon, Ayo.
Soon. Thanks for being here. And I accidentally took Travis off. Travis is back on.
Abel Castillo says it's a piss poor strategy to depend on 1 to 3 players to score goals. We used to have a team that had almost every player that could score goals. I don't know where we dropped the ball. I think that's true. Last year, Ryan Hollingshead was making runs up the side and scoring goals.
Yeah.
Sifu was dangerous.
There were flashes of that. I would say like in the 63rd to 70th minute, we were cooking.
Yeah.
And it was like, whoever ends up with the shot, take the shot.
And Stipe and Bogusz are players that I trust. I do think they're both good enough. They haven't scored in the way that we need them to score, but they're not dangerous. Like they're almost there. But I do think what's missing is a number 9. We don't have someone in the center that can tap those fucking balls in, or if Carlos Vela's one-on-one with the keeper, he knows exactly where to put it as opposed to right into his body or whatever. Like we're missing a striker. And I think, especially because we're selling Sifu, we're going to have a full open DP spot. It's got to go to a number 9. And I hope, John Thornton always surprises us. I hope that he has something cooking. Maybe
he probably has a plan to
also
get Messi
Lionel Messi. Yeah, I was going to say
Miami.
Oh, yeah, he's probably working on a Messi deal.
He's probably getting Messi.
Once Messi finds out that they're in Fort Lauderdale, I can't say that. Fort Lauderdale.
I've said it enough. My grandfather used to live outside of Miami. I've said it enough. That's where I used to fly into.
FLL, baby. Oof. Yeah, okay.
Well,
so
let's not say that this means for sure we're done talking about this game, but I think it's a good time to talk about Messi.
So, Darren, I know you're the king of the casuals. Lionel Messi.
Not familiar yet.
Okay. So
actually, Messi is the only player that I'm familiar with.
He's the Christian Pulisic of soccer. He's the.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It brings up so many complicated feelings to know that Messi's in the league. And it is stupid for us to admit that it's not really fucking cool. It's very cool that Messi's going to play in the league and that my season tickets could be paid off if I sell them at one game right now.
Wait a second. You just made
I'm-
that the least cool thing ever.
I'm going to go to the game, but it's really hard to not look at the price of my seats going for $1,600 a ticket and going, that's what I paid for the whole season.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
okay, it is
Well,
objectively very
maybe you
cool.
won't be able to go to the game, and then
I'm going to go to the game. I'm not going to miss that game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I'm going to see Tony Leone fucking crush Lionel Messi.
Messi doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah,
in the MLS. He doesn't know what he's getting into.
He's
The
no
MLS
Stipe
is
Buke.
going to chew him up and spit him out. Mark my words.
Wait until he gets a look at Dollenmeyer.
Oh man. I feel like again we have to say for the record we love Dollenmeyer. He's actually very
He
good.
rules. Every time we talk any sort of joke about the LAFC 2, I feel bad because I'm like, they're
Yeah, I know,
children. I
'cause-
can't be mean to a child.
Yeah, it is truly. These are jokes with no actual truth.
That said, is Stipe Buke is just he's their age, but because he's on the first team, we can be meaner to him.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very cool he's there. It's also very scary that we're going to have to play against Messi. I mean,
Sure.
Miami has a terrible roster. They're going to be fine. They're going to bend over backwards to bring in a bunch of people. If they don't open up the roster rules to allow everyone to start buying right now, Don Garber's a fucking idiot. The league could explode in the next 6 months if Don Garber allows it to.
Yeah. Trondolo said in the press conference after the CCL finals, he was like, if you change the rules, like we can win this thing.
Yeah.
If we can actually make the tweaks we need to make. And this is even on a bigger scale. Dill Cop says Messi versus Maldonado, the battle of the century.
He did say we should call him Dillis, is what he's
Dillis.
he's
Okay,
referring-
thank you.
AO said he meant to say love you, bye. Love you, AO. Yeah, I don't think it can be overstated just how famous Messi is. LeBron James has 150 million followers on Instagram. Messi has 450 million followers on Instagram.
That's
In one day, Miami.
That's so many. That's all of Instagram.
It's crazy. Miami became the most followed team in MLS on Instagram in a single day. They have more followers than Major League Soccer. It's like been a. My
I think it
dad
went from
texted me
1 million to 4.5 million in 3 hours.
My dad doesn't know much about soccer. He texted me 15 minutes after Fab tweeted and said, "Is Messi coming to MLS?" I was
Doesn't know anything about soccer but follows Fab.
Yeah. Also, shout out to that guy Michael on the Dan Le Batard show, who was the only one who got it right the whole time. It makes me happy that Doofus, who hosts a podcast, had the biggest scoop of the century.
Love it.
Gives us hope that one day we can have a scoop.
Yeah, I mean, all we're trying to do here is get some scoops, guys. We're just trying to be true investigative journalists.
My
on this
draft
show.
pick is looking bad, though, I will say. I did draft Messi.
It's interesting that he comes to the MLS and it makes that draft pick look worse. You were so close and so much further than I could have ever been, or most people could have been, and yet so far.
I also want to say shout out Kellen Parker, who has been saying in our group text for a year and a half that Messi will never come to Miami. And I just want to say, Kellen Parker, I loved sending every rumor to the group thread about him coming and you telling me that he wouldn't come. And today's my day too, baby. I won, Kellen, and I want you to know.
Let's check the scoreboard on that one.
We don't need to get into the things that I've gotten wrong.
What else is there to say on this situation? I mean, the man's gonna make more money than God off of this.
The league's gonna make a fuck ton of money.
Everyone's gonna win, sure. They did. It seems like they got necessarily creative. He's gonna make money off Apple. Apple's gonna make money off him. He's gonna make money off MLS. MLS is gonna make money off him. Is every game he plays gonna have to be in a bigger stadium in every city? Is that what's gonna happen? How are we gonna do this?
They're gonna have to play at Hard Rock in Miami. If you can expand seats and stadiums, I would hate for us to play at the Rose Bowl. I love playing at Bank of California or BMO or whatever.
What about Coliseum?
Yeah, we could do the Coliseum, I guess, but it's I don't know. The 3252 is what makes LAFC so special, and you play in those big stadiums.
I agree.
It's gonna feel a lot different. I know they're gonna want to sell tickets or whatever. It'll bum me out to not get to see Messi from the distance that I know I can see him.
Yeah,
at
you know what'd be cool is if they play at BMO and just find a way to only sell to local people, and we just fill the stadium. I mean, we do that anyway, I guess, but
I mean, I won't
Yeah.
be there. I'll be using the $4,000 I got on my ticket to go to Bora Bora.
to just sit in the Founders Club on a different game.
Let's see where. Oh, Anush says Dueñas and Messi are the same height, which is very funny. Tiny Donuts 123 says we need Tiny Donuts 123. Great name, one of my favorite names I've ever seen in the chat. We need Tillman back out there. I agree. I love Timothy Tillman. Is he hurt? Someone said he's hurt. I don't know, but Dueñas looked good. Sifu had a good game as well.
Yeah, well, yeah. Honestly, everyone looked good except for the same things that all the little things that bugged us and wouldn't have if one of those goals just happened to get through. What a weird game.
Can I ask you a question? And we don't know enough about soccer to answer that. We have no knowledge of this game.
Oh, put me on the spot for something like this.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Cool.
Do you think? Okay, this will be fun. Let's do it. Maybe we should wait and do it on a match preview. Where do you think Miami's going to end up in the table at the end of the season?
Oh,
they're
this
in
is
last
fun.
place.
They're in last place. Which, I mean, come on, Galaxy, step it up. You got that spot is yours.
No,
right?
Galaxy are in the last place overall.
Oh, good. That's good. They're standing up for something, and that's important.
Yeah, Miami's last place in the East.
Get well soon, Chicharito. Let's see. When are they gonna? Where's Inter Miami?
Oh yeah, Chicharito, non-contact injury like Palencia. He's gonna be out for. He's not gonna probably play 4th of July again. He never fucking plays. The only time he's played in a El Tráfico recently was when we played LAFC 2 against. Oh, I'm so happy they lost.
He calculated it. He looked at the calendar right before he went out there.
They make the
Inter
playoffs.
Miami. I mean, I think they're gonna there's still a lot of season left. They could get pretty high, you know.
And there's a lot of rumors about a lot of good players coming in. All of those
That's
players.
The thing. It's not gonna be just Messi. They're gonna build
45 years old though.
Sure, Beckham's gonna go back out there.
People keep saying that this is like when Beckham came. This is so much bigger than when David Beckham was like, was very popular and had crossover mass appeal because he was in the tabloids or whatever. Messi is he's Pele. The only comparable person was when Pele came to the Cosmos, and it was a phenomenon, and it will be a phenomenon. And I think in his mind, maybe he's going to have somewhat of an anonymous life in the United States. That's not the fucking case, my man.
It's not going to happen, dude. Yeah, I don't understand that aspect of this whole situation where he's just like, yeah, I want to be able to live my life and not be hounded by paparazzi all the time. This is not the place to do it, dude.
Yeah. You know,
especially a city like Miami, it's no LA for something like that, but that's a I don't know how to describe it. People like drama there. People like exciting things. The one thing ogled.
But he's not flashy in the way that Beckham is flashy. You know, he's kind of a normal weird dude.
It's true.
If you met him at a bar and you were talking to him, you'd be like, that guy's kind of fucking weird. He's definitely not the best soccer player that's ever lived.
That's what makes it so great.
You know what? People are giving us guesses. Oscar Morales says 13th place. Abel says they'll end up in 4th and Messi will get MVP. I think we should open this up maybe. Let's do it let's figure out what to do in another episode. Let's have a listener pool and we'll give someone a gift.
That would be really
who gets
fun.
closest for where Miami
there
ends
will be a giveaway. Whoever gets closest. No Price is Right bullshit. Whoever gets closest to where Miami ends up on the table, we'll get some kind of.
We'll figure it out.
Figure out what it is.
Yeah, we'll work on it for the next episode.
If there's some kind of world where merch exists, I don't know.
And I just want to say congratulations to Messi's club for beating Birmingham whatever in the U.S. Open. Messi's team came out ahead against a USL club today and are in the semifinals of the U.S. Open
U.S. Open Cup, it's still a thing, folks. It's still happening. LAFC is not in it, but it's still going.
All right, let's wrap it up. We're running long.
Can't wait to see Messi play in the soccer tournament. 7v7 championship of 2024.
If Messi plays in Leagues Cup, it's going to be fucking wild. The whole thing, it's going to be so weird to see him. This is a little weird, stupid league. Why are you here? We're just hanging out, running around. I get a media pass. They gave me a media pass in this league. This isn't a real league.
Probably not anymore, though. Probably not anymore. They're going to have to cut the fat.
Like, we heard what you said after the live stream, and we've revoked your media privilege. You were
Yeah.
too mean to Jose Cifuentes. He's gone. We can be mean to. He's leaving. All right, let's wrap it
boy.
up. You know, disappointing game in a lot of ways. I didn't feel as angry as I think a lot of you feel. We played a really strong game. We should have won. Brad Guzan played the best game of his career, and you can't fucking do anything about it. And
I feel like
that's the story of the game.
he used to play with Dolo, right? I think he just was like, I'm not letting you beat me to Dolo. This was, yeah, you know what it is? This is the pain that it feels like when you rip the Band-Aid off. This was like the palate cleanser we needed.
Yeah.
Now we can move on and actually be successful doing exactly the same thing.
And play Houston twice back to back for some fucking reason. Okay,
Right.
let's wrap this up because I just realized I have to
games.
we have to record a Houston match preview tomorrow. All right,
Oh my God.
so
Our lives
thank
are so hard.
guys, it's really hard to do this.
This is so hard, guys. I mean, help us.
As always, thank you so much for hanging out.
We love you all.
It's been an hour since the game ended. So this is rad that you're all still here. Thanks for building this weird little community with us and hanging out. And we'll see you Saturday night. Is that when we play Houston after the next game? And we'll have a match preview out probably Friday morning. That will be a double Houston match preview. So we're obviously not going to do 2 match previews for Houston. We're not insane. Dillis, if you're still here.
Dillis, stop
Dillis.
asking for Houston previews.
Dillis, shut the fuck
Oh my
up.
God. Dillis won't stop asking us for preview pods for Houston.
Shout out to whoever sold me this kit, which is a WGA soccer kit that they handmade and then donated the proceeds to the Entertainment Community Fund. Thank
Oh,
you
that's
for doing
amazing. That's so cool. This is
then-
a flannel. It's a plaid design.
that. Yeah.
Brown, black.
You donated the money to the studios.
Shout out to Marshalls.
Shout out to Marshalls. Okay. Shout out to Marshalls. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Bye.
I
Shout
love
out
you.
to
Bye.
Marshalls. Shout out to Marshalls. Bye.
Oh boy.
I love you, Marshalls. I love you, Marshalls.
I love you. Could have been TJ Maxx. I don't know. They're right next door to each other. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. Bye.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you, Marshalls. Bye.